Hey, welcome back to another episode of Drumcast TV for August 28th, 2015. My name's Darren Mathis, glad you could tune in. Today I'm going to talk about a product I just recently stumbled on called Tuner Fish. And for years I've had the issue with my snare drum when I play rim shots. And I'm talking about rim shots, you know, most people, a lot of people first start playing rim shots, they play like this in school band, where they tell you to take the stick and put the tip of the stick in the middle of the drum, and then this part on the rim, and then hit it like that, so you're guaranteed this kind of rim shot sound. Well, as people progress, they start doing rim shots where the tip of the stick hits the drum head, and then this part of the stick hits the rim at the same time. So you start getting this woody sound to it. It's got a little more snap and volume and projection. It's got just a different character entirely from just hitting the snare rim by itself. And I really like to use that for a lot of backbeats and stuff like this. You can hear the difference there. The problem that happens is if you're playing maybe a gig for several hours and you keep doing this constant backbeat and you're using the rim shot, what happens is the lugs, these tuners on this side of the snare, eventually loosen up. And I've had that happen, well, just about every time I play. Never really thought about trying to find a way to remedy that until recently. I don't know why, but of course there's products out there. This particular product that I am reviewing today is called Tuner Fish, and I'll show you a close-up of it here in a moment. But I had gone to my local store and they had some little plastic tabs that kind of work with the same idea. You slip them over the tuner, and somehow it's the edge of this piece of plastic is against the rim, so it's supposed to prevent the tuner from moving or turning, which is exactly how this Tuner Fish works. But I'll show you the design of this up close. Okay, so here's the Tuner Fish up close, and why I like the design of this is because it just is designed to fit right over the top of the tuner like this, and there's really no way I can imagine that that's gonna loosen up, because what happens is if the lug starts to loosen up, the tail part of it rests against the rim, so I can't imagine how it would loosen up. So I thought that was pretty clever. And then also it comes with these rubber bands that you can wrap around the lug itself. Step back here so its camera goes into focus. That would be good. There we go, now we're in focus. And then you wrap these or feed this rubber band through behind the tuner, and then there's grooves in here that the rubber band slips over on either side. It's kind of tough to do it without the lug being on the drum, but I think that's mainly to prevent the tuner fish from falling off. So it kind of rests on there, so I can imagine if the drum's tipped upside down, it's going to fall right off there. So my impression of this is it works pretty well. I have yet to really road test it too much. One issue that people might have with it is, let's say you get your drum in tune, you've got the lugs, the tuning rods right where you want them. Well, you put this thing on, and let's see, you notice it's got this star pattern, but it only fits over, let's see how many degrees that is, each notched. So if I move it, I have to move it, I don't know how many increments this is, probably 8 increments all the way around. Yeah, 6 or 8. Let's count, shall we? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, So 8 increments. So that's gonna be, for my purposes at least, accurate enough, because what happens is, say you've got this exactly where you want it, you want to lock it down. Well, you put this on, and maybe the closest, it won't let you, the closest increment that lets you actually slip it on there has the tail away from the rim. So what the instructions tell you to do is just to push this in to the rim. So you try and find the closest increment before the tail touches the rim, and you push it in, and that rests against the rim, so the lug can't go counterclockwise anymore. But to do that, you might have to turn the tuning rod itself 1/8 of a turn. Not a big deal, not a big deal in my opinion. But anyway, like I said, I have yet to test these. I think they're a sweet product. Slips on very easily. This plastic seems really heavy duty, and I think with these rubber bands on there, they're not going to go anywhere. So I bought a 10-pack and put them on each of the lugs of my snare drum, because usually I'm playing snare drum or rim shots with my left hand, but sometimes with my right hand too. And so I figure I just put them all around the drum. But yeah, maybe I'll do another review at some point and let you know how they work out. But so far they're working beautifully. All right, so I got this tuner fish. I'll show you how I put it on there using this rubber band. You wouldn't have to use the rubber band. You could just set it right on there. There it is. Oops. What the rubber band helps is it's just going to keep it on there, because if you tip your drum to the side, they're going to fall off because they're on there fairly loosely. So what you do is you feed this rubber band through behind the tuning rod, slip each loop over the tuner fish. There's 2 notches in there, and then you just pop it over the top like that. There you are. So I've got 10 of these, and this is my Pearl snare drum. Oh, by the way, you might have noticed this new kit. Last time I did an episode, it was my Roland electronic kit, which I sold and got this kit because I wanted to go back to, I just wanted to try out the smaller kit, one of these Gretsch kits. So I still have my Pearl Masters kit. Now I have this Gretsch Catalina Club. But the snare here is actually well, the Catalina Club came with a matching snare drum, but just for the purposes of showing you the tuner fish, I'm using my Pearl Masters custom snare drum because I had all the tuner fish on this one. This is the one I use most often, and tend to play at gigs that last 3 or plus hours, where you don't want the lugs detuning. So this will be it'll be amazing if this works, and I'll be kind of kicking myself that I didn't do it earlier. But I don't see any way it's not going to work. So well done with the tuner fish. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions about the tuner fish, feel free to do a video response, email me, or anything like that. Thanks for tuning in, and until next time, take care, keep practicing, and God bless.